It gives me great pleasure to welcome us to country Matilda House, who's a Ngambri woman, a Ngambri elder. Please welcome Matilda.
Present. My sister Louise Brown is here, a Ngambri woman, elder. I'd also like to acknowledge the Alcohol Education and Rehabilitation Foundation, the AER Centre for Alcohol Policy and Research, Dr. Norman Swan, Professor Marcia Langton, Professor Robin Room, Dr. Anne-Marie Laslett, Professor Ian Webster, Commissioner Andrew P. Scipione. Where are you? I've heard of you so much, I've never seen you in person. There you are. Oh, at last I've met you. I've heard so much about you, seen you all the time on TV. And also, last but not least, Professor Gordian, Fulde. You're not any relation to Elmer Fudd? No worries, darling. I'm just so happy that you're here with all those people that have come here today too, to talk about and celebrate the launch of what I think is a fantastic report. But we need to go more into it before I give it the leg up. But there's other people in this room too that I'd like to say that have worked with Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people for many years and have done their reports, and it's all about the needs analysis of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who use drugs, illegal drugs. And the other one is, it's great to have a guy here, a young Aboriginal man. He's just about finishing his PhD, and he's doing it here in Canberra, and he's on screening for alcohol use in the Aboriginal people in our community and everywhere else through Australia. And I think that a young Aboriginal man who's doing that has got his head on his shoulders and is there fighting for the best well-being of all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. So I want to thank you, Mr. Lovett. Comes from a very strong family, the Lovetts, and just wonderful to know that there are people here that I've worked with, also with Ian, as I've mentioned, and also with David Templeton, Brian, there you are over there. There's another guy there that I smooched on the way through, but I forgot his name. And you know, and all the ways of doing things. I remember this terrible thing I picked up in the papers many, many years ago. I think people like Marcia would probably remember this, about this Aboriginal man standing in front of a judge, and he'd been picked up for drinking. And, you know, he said to the magistrate said, you're a repeat offender. Your grandfather's black, your father's black, and you're black. So that's what happens when Aboriginal people get picked up for drinking. I haven't been there, but I've seen those sorry times time and time again. But I just want to say to you about, every time I go to Al-Anon, I still see the other part of when I go to the meetings for AAs. And the other one is, you know, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. And that will always stay with me forever and ever in a day. I'm not here to preach to you. I'm just here to say Aboriginal people have been through since 30 years? Does anybody knows when your ancestors come out? You forgot the date. Sorry, Mr. Swan. Yeah. I just want to say to you about, and thanking you for asking me here today to do this welcome. I grew up with alcohol, not only in my family, but all the way around the Aboriginal mission. You grow up with some of the horrendous, atrocious things that you can possibly see in a community that just couldn't and still can't take control of the drinking that comes there. And so we've faced tragedy. My family has faced tragedy, as of others. We've lost elders earlier than we should have. We've lost young people, even before they got to reach their prime. I also, and others, mourn the loss of the potentials of those people, our loved ones. But growing up on Aboriginal reserves, if you don't go to a funeral once a week or you hear of a funeral, then if it lasts only one a month, you're very, very lucky. But standing here before you today and seeing you, I know all the potentials that this report, the launch of this, can be maybe a lifeline to everybody right across Australia. And so I'm saying to you, remember your family. Remember the honour that you give them. All your family connections. Be strong and lead. Play your role in furthering reconciliation right across the border with ourselves and how to get past the terrible traumas that we have by having alcohol. I was going to say to you, I'm a great-great-granddaughter from Onyong to a man known as Black Harry, Henry Williams. My father, Douglas Williams. Beautiful mother, Pearlie Williams. And my grandparents of Louise Wedge and Reuben Simpson. My background goes back a long way in this country, and I always want to pay the respects of the ancestors. That's why I'm here today standing before you, to make sure that the things that we want to do to help and create a better future for especially for the children and their children, that we should be proud to know that this is happening here. So, as I said, be strong and lead, play your role in furthering all those things, and I wish you well with your journey. And it is a journey, and it's a journey I think will never stop, because if you stop, then we'll have the perfect world, and we all know that's not right. Well, it could be, but it won't be, because we know, sitting up on the hill today up there, they can't get it right. They're our leaders. So I wish you well on your journey and thank you for having me today. So thank you and welcome to the land of my ancestors, the Ngambri people, and have and talk to anybody who wants to listen on the values of how to save a life, no matter black, white, brindle or whatever. It's a life that needs to be saved, and it's a life that has to be taken care of. There's always help. You just have to reach out and help another person. So thank you very much for having me here today, and I'll catch you all later.